I'm gonna show you how to play a game that I've been working on called Ka. It's a two-player abstract board game that I'm sure by the time this video is up, there will be files for it on boardgamegeek.com. So if you're interested in checking it out, it'll definitely be for free, print and play. So Ka came about from my fascination of the ancient Mayans. They were known to have played a ball game called Peats or Pokatok. It's got a couple different names, but I've been fascinated by this ball game that they played ever since I visited Mexico as a young man, and to be standing there in the courts where they used to play this sport, just fascinating. So that led me to create this little game here, which is kind of abstraction of that game that they used to play. So let's take a look here. We have two opposing teams. We have the Jaguars and Eagles. And in the center here, we have the ball, because this is after all a board game. A ball game. The ancient Mayas used to use a kind of sap from a tree to make these rubber balls that could bounce around the court. So that's essentially what you're doing in this game. You want to be moving around your little pieces here, and you want to be hitting the ball. And the goal is to hit the ball into the opponent's goal area. Into any of these 6 hexagons would score you a point. And the first one to 2 points wins the game. So let's take a look. What do you do on your turn? On your turn, you can perform 2 actions. You can move, and you can also move and hit the ball. And you can perform these 2 actions in any combination. So I could move twice, 1, 2, or I could move and then hit. And the ball can go in any direction as long as that space is empty. And you can move in any direction as long as that space is empty. Now, hitting becomes more interesting the more of your own players are adjacent to that ball at that moment. So at this stage, let's say I have something like this at the beginning of my turn. I could do something like this. For my first action, I'll move. And then for my second action, I will hit the ball. Now, because I have 2 of my pieces touching it, the ball can now move 2 spaces instead of just 1. You see, if you hit the ball and only 1 of your pieces is touching it, it moves just a distance of 1. But now that there's 2, I can go 1 and 2. And the ball can change direction in any way that you prefer. And also, likewise, with 3 of your pieces touching the ball, now the ball, for 1 action, for hitting it once, it can move a farther distance of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And hey, look at that. I'm 1 away from scoring a point there. So the Jaguars are going to have to get the ball out of their home base there if they wanna win the game. So that's essentially how you play your turn. After I take my 2 actions, it would then be the opponent's turn. Now, there are some special things that you can do apart from moving and hitting. Instead of performing 2 actions, you could instead promote one of your pieces. And that's essentially means you're going to flip your piece, showing its black side. Every piece has this, and you are free to do this at any time. instead of performing the normal 2-action move. However, if you promote a piece on your turn, that is it. That's all that you can do, and now it would be your opponent's turn. So they might make their move now. So the promoted piece, what is its purpose? Well, if you've seen these Mayan ruins, if you've seen the ball courts, you'll have noticed that on both sides there are these giant stone walls, and at the top of the walls there are stone circles or loops. And well, they would try to hit the ball through these loops, which was very difficult. So that typically scored a lot more points, and in some cases would even end the game immediately. So as we've discussed, the typical way to score points is to get your ball into your opponent's end zone. But that's not the only way to score points. Another way to score a point is to hit it into any one of these stone circles on either side of the court here. But the catch is, since seeing as though it's a more difficult thing to do, it can only be done. This can only be achieved by a promoted piece. So, if it were my turn and I wanted to achieve hitting the ball into these stone circles, I would flip my piece here, promoting it. Then it would be my opponent's turn. They would take maybe their 2 actions. Maybe they don't want to promote. So they take their 2 actions, they move, and then they hit the ball towards themselves. Now I'm going to move this 2 spaces, and they are going to hit the ball for 1 action, 1, 2, 3, and then they'll move. Well, now it's back to my turn, and since this guy is promoted, he's going to hit the ball for his first action, and then he's going to hit it again. And he's able to do this because he is a promoted piece, and he would score effectively 1 point. All right, now, just to be clear, this would not end the game. It would score the same amount of points as though I were to hit it over here. But it is an alternative way of scoring a point. Now, as we've said before, the objective of the game is to score 2 points. At this point, we would reset up the board to its starting positions, and then we would give our opponent the first move, and we would continue play until someone has scored 2 points, and that would end the game. Now, just to do a couple clarifications, if I had something like this, as we've said, I would never be able to, since this piece is not promoted, I would not be able to hit this ball into this stone circle here. Nor can any piece at any time enter this. These thick black lines here, they are not places that a piece can go. Only the ball could be hit here by a promoted piece. Likewise, in the end zones, no pieces can enter these spaces at any time. Another clarification is that if I had something like this, let's say, at this point I could hit this ball 1 space and then I could move there. That's not very efficient. That would end my turn. It would be better to move 1 space for my first action, and now gaining, since I have 2 adjacent pieces, now for my second action, I will hit the ball 2 spaces and I can score a point. Now this is able to be achieved because even though this guy is helping to hit the ball, there is at least 1 piece that is promoted. And another thing I should mention is that you can promote 1 piece, you can promote 2 pieces, you can promote all your pieces or none of them. It's up to you. It depends on what playstyle you want to do. But promoting a piece effectively gives up your turn for that moment, and it would be your opponent's turn. All right, let's do a kind of example game here. I'm gonna play against myself here. Hopefully I don't get too confused by playing two people at the same time. All right, we're gonna let the Eagles go first. So I'm gonna take my 2 actions. I move for my first action, I hit the ball. Now it's the Jaguars' turn. Let's see, they're gonna move 2 spaces. Okay, and since they're going over there, I don't want to give them the ball. Even though he's not promoted, he could promote. I'm going to hit the ball over here. 1, 2, 3 for my first action. 3 adjacent pieces, so the ball went further. I'm going to move here for my second action. Okay, Jaguars' turn. They are going to promote a piece. Now it will be the Eagles' turn again. Okay, the Eagles are going to move this piece here twice. All right, let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2. They're going to try to get that ball away from the Jaguars there. All right, let's do 1, 2. All right, 1, 2, 1, that would be 1 action, and then we'll hit the ball over here. Okay, Jaguars' turn. Let's do 1, and then for the second action, they're going to hit the ball 2 spaces since there are 2 adjacent pieces there, and they have scored the first point. All right, so you would set the game up again, and we continue play until someone has scored 2 points. All right, Jaguars have 1 point, Eagles 0. So it is Eagles' turn. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I'm sorry. 1 and 2. Okay, the Eagles have scored a point now. And they did so by promoting and hitting it into the stone loop there. Okay, so sudden death. 1 versus 1. This is the final point. Okay, so the Eagles scored the last point, so the Jaguars get the first turn. Let's see what they do here. 1, 2. Hey, just wanted to interject here for just a moment. If you have a keen eye, unlike me, I guess, I've been playing on this board for a week now, and I did not see that there's an error on this board. You can see an extra hex here where there is none on this side. That is definitely a problem. I don't know, I guess when you're designing something, you can't see the trees through the forest, or forest through the trees, whatever the expression is. Yeah, I've just been staring at these hexes for too long, I guess. I didn't realize this error. But it does pose an interesting question. Should the board be more restrictive, like this end, or should it have more options like this one? Whatever, I'll be playing around with those two possibilities and see which one works best. Anyways, by the time any print and play files are uploaded, this error will be corrected. But, you know, instead of recording a whole new video and doing everything all over again like a true professional, I'm just gonna leave this video and leave the board in. So anyways, yeah, if you saw that and you noticed, well, you're smarter than I am. Anyways, thanks for watching. All right, Jaguar's turn. All right, and that is victory for the Jaguars. So, not the best game I've ever played, just kind of winging it here, just trying to show a quick example game. So I hope you got a feel for it. And yeah, if this looks interesting, feel free to, you know, check it out, give me some feedback. I'm definitely gonna have a page up on boardgamegeek.com. And thanks so much. Take it easy.